knife, because I guess it's good that she's got the knife.
As the cops are coming in.
Which is weird, because the cops never showed up here before. Now, all of a sudden, they show up because somebody's screaming. I don't know. Oh, no. Sorry, they actually explained that, because they said the cops are right in there now.
Yeah.
The cops are all over the place now after, the one white woman gets hurt. Again, a lot of racial undertones in this movie.
So it's all over the news.
Yeah.
She's obviously
she gets
on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Because the baby's gone, and she killed a dog, and
yep.
there's blood everywhere. It's more... She isn't charged with anything, I don't think.
No, but she does go to prison. Because they have to take you to jail, especially if you're, because they haven't found the baby, so they don't know anything yet. They also don't know for sure she did it. So far, all she's guilty of is killing a dog, which I don't think is actually illegal.
Well, it's probably not.
It's
probably
not
frowned upon.
It's definitely frowned upon, but I don't think it is necessarily illegal. But I don't know for sure. I would hope it is. But
well, I mean, Mike Vick hosted dog fighting in his house, and he went to jail for a little bit.
That's illegal. Because you're not allowed to do that, and also because it's illegal to gamble in that state.
Oh, fair enough.
But, so she goes to jail, and then she tries to call Xander Berkeley, her husband. He's not at home.
No.
Again, subplot does get paid off, but...
Because, again, it's like 3 in the morning, and she's calling, going, where are you, Trevor? It's like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and there was another scene earlier where she was in bed, and then he crawls in drunk.
Yeah.
Another excuse for a jump scare. He crawls in drunk, and it's like 3 a.m., and she's like, well, where were you?
I'm wasted.
I'm wasted. And then immediately goes to sleep, and I'm like, clearly he's fucking someone else, because I've lived with someone before, and if I crawl into bed and my lady love is awake and I'm drunk, I'm trying to get me some. It never works, but I still try.
Trying is half the battle.
Right.
So the Candyman is hunting Helen at this point, because she gets released.
Yes.
Because they don't really have anything on her. But the cop was real mad. He went from, like, super sympathetic to... Where's the baby, bitch?
That was weird. That was very aggressive.
Because he was like...
Yeah.
You know where it is. You know.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't.
That was out of nowhere aggressive. And considering the story she was telling where she doesn't know how she got there and everything like that, like, that's when you go, hey, mental illness... Maybe let's not yell at this person. Yeah. But no, they're just full on, both of them. There's no good cop, bad cop here. It's asshole cop and assholer cop. Weird. Very strange. There's a lot of weird shit in this movie.
Bad cop, worst cop. So she's at home. Candyman shows up again.
Yep.
And cuts her.
Cuts her, uses the hook and cuts in the back of her neck.
And then Bernadette shows up.
Yeah, Bernie shows up and it's just like, Helen? Helen?
Don't come in here!
Yeah, she's trying to tell her not to come in here, but she can't speak. And then, of course, Bernie walks in, because apparently her door's open. You're wanted for murder and the press is everywhere. Lock your door. Just saying.
Just a suggestion.
And then...
she just gets...
Yeah.
Murder!
Yeah, Candyman ain't fucking around with her. He's taking her out. But then, of course, again, much like before, she's got a knife. Helen's got a knife in her hand now, so cops show up again. Fuck. Clearly this lady's crazy, but she also just killed her best friend, so...
There's stab wounds, and she has a knife.
Yeah, you're going to the nut house now, hun. That's what's happening.
Can they... Now, I'm no autopsy guy.
Sure.
Don't know what the actual...
Medical examiner?
Medical examiner. ME.
CSI.
Would stab wounds with a hook versus a knife be different?
Yes. 100% yes.
So they'll be like, this woman was hooked to death.
However, I will dispute that fact with magic logic. Somehow Candyman is able to make her go from one place to another. Do all of this stuff, and you're saying that he can't make a knife wound look like a stab wound?
Hey, sometimes there's a flaw in your plan. I
mean, yeah, but they would immediately know, hey, look, hook. I mean, my thought would have been like the stab mark in the back of the neck would have first been like, yeah, that's clearly a hook.
Yeah.
Because, it's hooked, and it's the shape of a hook is not a knife. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely going to be different looking stab wounds. Thicker, if nothing else. Because, like, a stab wound with a butcher... Well, not a butcher knife, just a straight-up knife is going to be thin. Very, very thin. You know what I mean? So this is definitely not going to work. So you just sort of have to go with it.
And going back to the whole waking up at Anne Marie's place.
Yes.
Anne Marie is well aware that the Candyman is real.
Yeah,
just like everyone at Cabrini Green.
Yeah, this does seem...
Couldn't Helen just stumble in and go, it was the Candyman? And then Anne Marie's like, that makes sense.
No, she did try.
All right.
But Anne Marie kind of not thinking clearly, seeing as how baby's not there, dog's head's on the floor.
Not thinking straight.
And then you see Helen walk in with a bloody knife.
What
are you thinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she does jump at her and say, why'd you do it? And then, Helen is trying to say, I didn't do it, but Anne-Marie cannot hear her at this point because it's all, I'm going to kill the white bitch. Because, as you would,
Yeah. So she ends up in the loony bin. They tie her down.
Mm-hmm. They strap her down.
Yep. She's like, why are you doing this? It was the Candyman.
Yeah, and then...
They're like, yeah,
yes,
was.
I'm sure it was. And then they leave, and fucking Candyman shows up. And then she's just like, you did it, you murderer, and she's still screaming and saying, he's here, so people kind of come in.
But they don't see nothing.
But they don't see anything, and she's like, he's under the bed, and they're just like, okay, crazy pants, and then walk out the door.
You're going to get some medicine.
You get this medicine, which was the funniest thing in the whole movie. Couldn't they get somebody who understands how needles work? This lady comes in with the needle, prepped and ready to go, which I don't think that's true. Comes in, stabs her with the needle, plunges it, and then wipes it off. That's not how you do that. Other way around. You wipe it off, do the stab, then you wipe again. She didn't do that. I'm like, God...
You are supposed to be a medical professional.
I understand that there's magic going on, but come on. That is so easy. Like, you could have... Because it's a close-up shot, too. So you know that they did, 4 or 5 takes of it. It's not like that requires too much effort. That was B-unit stuff. Because that probably wasn't even Virginia Madsen's neck. That's just...
Stunt neck.
Somebody figured this shit out, is all I'm saying.
We see the baby is alive and well with the Candyman.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
In distress.
I'm not quite sure.
He's alive.
In all fairness, how does he feed the child?
Honey.
Fuck, you're probably right.
It's got bees.
Yeah, that's true.
Put his finger in his mouth.
Yeah, but that's actually, you do that to babies to pacify them.
Oh, yeah, but it's
his hand is probably gross. Yes, I agree with that. But no, I don't know if he would have honey because they seem like supernatural bees. They don't seem like they're making honey.
Yeah. Then we get to this, again, this whole place is just full of fucking assholes. We got a mouthy orderly. Where are we going? Disneyland!
Well, that's every hospital in movies ever.
Has that mouthy orderly?
Guy. Yeah, every single one, especially in the 90s and the 80s. It's one of 3. You got the overly mouthy guy, the guy who clearly fucking hates everyone, or guy or girl, I should say, because there's also Nurse Ratched and shit. And then you got the pervert, who's taking advantage of the bodies. This dude seemed like if you'd given him half a minute, he'd have copped a feel.
Yeah.
He kind of had a little bit of a, wow, she's pretty kind of vibe, which I'm like, I've had enough. Let's not go into that territory.
No. So she gets to go see the doctor, and she tries to tell him about the Candyman. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to show you.
Yeah.
And then she kind of looks at the mirror, says Candyman 5 times. He doesn't show up right away.
Because he never does.
And then the doctor's like, well, what I think it's...
yeah.
And then fucking Candyman appears and just fucking screw.
He stabbed him from what I'm guessing is asshole to mid-spine. And he does it with some fucking gusto.
From bits to chips.
Just
go blammo!
He's fucking going. And I'm like, holy shit, that's some effort, man. He put in some real effort.
And then again, to try to frame her, he frees her.
Yeah.
Didn't give her a knife, though, so it's like she doesn't have any...
No.
Where did he get stabbed from with what in this room?
Well, no, he wasn't trying to frame her. He was trying to get her to come with him.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, he was just like, join me, Helen.
And then he
fucking
flies out the
awesomely,
window.
backs his way out of the window. And I'm like, that was kind of awesome, but at the same time, awkward and stupid.
Yeah.
But I liked it in both ways.
So she escapes by shimmying across the building, knocking on a window. A nurse goes, hey, look, a patient. I should open the window.
Yeah, and then literally Helen's big move is, I'm going to fall on you. And it works.
He knocks her out, grabs her outfit, puts it on, escapes.
Which apparently, the cops who are running by this woman are just like, yeah, it's cool. She's wearing that outfit. Clearly, she's not a mental patient. We're fine. We're gonna let anyone we want leave. That's not how this works. If there's a mental patient escaping, they lock down. No one can leave. So
And even if they do, they have to confirm you're you.
Yeah. Like, this is just like shoddy workmanship everywhere.
She gets out.
Yes.
Goes see Trevor.
Yeah.
Already!
She finds out that she's been under for a month when she goes to talk to the doctor. That was another thing we missed. Like, she's been out for a month and she didn't know. She thought it was only a day. So she's been out for a month.
So she's only been gone for a month.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has already moved his co-ed girlfriend in, and they're already painting and moving new furniture in.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If your wife goes away because she's nuts, I don't care if you're fucking someone on the side. You take some time. Just a little bit.
And this woman's reaction is
fantastic.
Is mwah.
It is so good.
She turns around and just goes, "Ah, Trevor!"
She just
there's like a beat there. There's like a second where she goes, "What?"
Like, she realizes who it is and just goes, and crumples. And I'm like, oh my god, not since Barbara at Night of the Living Dead have we seen somebody crumple that quickly.
Trevor! He comes in going,
fuck.
You're not supposed to be here.
Hey, crazy lady. How you doing?
And she's like, why is this bitch in my house?
Yeah. And I love his thought of, like, let's call the doctor. Yeah, because that's what she wants to do. She wants to go back to the place that straps her down and drugs her up. That's
I'm surprised she's
exactly
like, the doctor's dead. Like, oh god, you killed her.
Like,
but
you're
no,
surprised,
no.
You know. It's just it's such a weird... Again, like, this is what I'm saying. It's, like, such a strange subplot. Because it kind of doesn't go anywhere. Because where it ends up here is, like, I guess the idea is that she has nothing left to live for, so she goes for Candyman, but... Considering what ends up happening, that doesn't make sense either. Like, if it ended the way the book ended, then it would make sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that it ends the way it does, it sort of goes, so we're just going to destroy this woman's life because?
Just cause. She just goes back to the Jane the Green.
Yes.
Finds the Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
Bees everywhere.
Yep.
She's definitely...
Yeah.
This is her best scene ever because she's deathly fucking ill. Allergic to these things, so that's fun for everybody.
Yeah, so she's covered in bees. His mouth is full of bees. They make out bee style.
What was she doing? Like,
what?
She must have been real uncomfortable, obviously, because the actress
She was actually fine. Yeah.
Oklahoma!
No. They didn't hypnotize her for this one. I don't think legally they could do that. Because she could die. She has to be aware to be like, I got stung, I need help. She got used to it because she was saying, like, because the way they did it was, and yes, there was a documentary on the DVD, so I got to see this. So basically the way they did it is they put pheromone on her face in a lot of
so
spots.
The bees are like, ooh.
So the bees are
yummy.
thinking this is the queen. So they don't want to sting the queen, they want to protect the queen. Because they're all the workers and the drones. So they're literally protecting her. So they don't want to hurt her. So she was just like, basically what it ended up feeling with is she's like, after, like when they first put it on, it feels like they're just dropping on you. So it's a little fucked up and weird. But she's like, after a minute, it just felt like Q-tips brushing against your face. Because they're just walking around. They're not really doing anything. They're just walking and protecting. So she's like, it was perfectly fine.
So she figures where the baby is. Mm-hmm. Runs into the bonfire. Which is literally just chairs.
Well, she's hearing screaming, like the kid's crying. So she's hearing it. So she climbs out of the building and then just fucking hoofs it to there. She's pushing everything away. She's got a hook at this point. So she's like pushing everything away and doing everything like that. And she crawls inside, and sure enough, the baby's in there. But before the hook is the last thing that Jake sees looking out the window, and goes, "Candyman's in there. Let's do this." And calls up everybody in Cabrini Green.
So was that it? Was that...
Yeah, he thought it was Candyman.
No. But was that bonfire a trap?
I don't know. I'm going to say yes, because why else would you set it up 2 months in advance?
So, like, eventually he's going to go in there. Mm-hmm. And when he does, we're going to burn that mother.
Yeah, so that seems to be what happened. So
they burn it down.
Yeah. And she's in there with the baby.
And the Candyman.
So she's resigning herself to her fate because Candyman's saying, like, just stay with me. You can be a part of the urban legend. you and the baby will have our life together.
Plus, there's a whole thing where they look at the full painting